Catherine. What are you doing here? Catherine, call the police. Now get out of this office.
I apologize for bringing Arthur. I admit he's something of a cliche, but I wanted to be sure we would have our little talk.
We've already had our talk, Poole. The answer is still no. Now get out.
I don't understand people like you, Lanier. I offer you a bona fide partnership. And you don't just turn me down, you treat me like some sort of pariah. That's not sociable. What do you think, Arthur? Sit down, Catherine. I regret the use of violence, but on occasion it does serve as an attention getter.
You don't scare me, Poole.
Arthur, I still don't have his complete attention. I'm a reasonable man, Lanier. I believe in talking things out.
Oh, go ahead, maybe he'll miss.
Get your hands off me.
Oh, I forgot. The notorious Mr. Poole is now a legitimate businessman and doesn't have a gun. Help him up.
Now, wait a minute, Mcmillan. You're not going to try and make something out of this,
I said help him up. It's like the old days, isn't it? Thought you'd just give him a working over yourself, wouldn't you? It's gonna cost you.
You've been trying to get me for years, Mcmillan. You've still got nothing. Mr. Lanier and I were having a business meeting. He slipped and fell. That's all there is to it.
Not this time. Mr. Lanier told us about your first meeting. That's why we're here. Now, if I remember my law books, when assault and battery is accompanied by terrorization of another innocent party, the charge becomes assault and battery plus false imprisonment. And that, Mr. Poole, is good from 1 to 10. Read him his rights.
Mr. Poole, you have the right to remain silent. If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say...
Too much?
Is that a question or a statement of fact?
Too much. All right, Mildred, are you ready? Too sophisticated?
Not if you're meeting a Frenchman for a secret rendezvous, but for meeting a Frenchman at an airport and his wife, who is supposed to be stunning.
Yes.
And rich.
1 out of 2 ain't bad. What am I gonna wear?
Oh.
I'm stumped.
Listen, I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, Jacques Arnaud is just another cop, only with a French accent.
He's a dear friend of Max. He just married Maggie Sinclair. You know who she is. I'm looking forward to meeting her. I want to look my best.
Well, what about this charming ensemble?
Mildred. C'est fantastique. C'est pas trop simple, c'est pas trop sophistiqué, c'est absolument parfait.
You Josh.
C'est parfait.
Oh, and don't worry about the rest of this stuff. I have the whole weekend to put it away.
Oh, I gotta call Mac. I don't think he knows we've only got an hour to get to the airport.
Well, I wish we could pin him with a lot more, Mac, but at least we've got something.
I wouldn't count on the secretary, though. She's scared out of her wits, but I think Lanier will hold up. Certainly got enough protection around him.
Yeah, well, you're the key, Mac. Now, Lanier's going to testify because the commissioner of police is going to testify.
Excuse me. Yes? Oh, tell her I can't right now. I'm right in the middle of it. Well, it's always important. All right, I'll take it. Yes, Sally, I know what time it is. Yes, Sally, I know he's my friend. Yes, I'm leaving in a few minutes. What? Oh, well, that sounds like a wonderful outfit. Right, I'll meet you at the airport. Goodbye.
Sounds like you've got an appointment. And so do I. Look, we can touch base on this later in the week, Mac.
Thanks for the visit, Frank. And this time we're going to nail Poole.
Goodbye, sir. Commissioner, I'm worried. I think I should tell you that there's a rumor out on the streets that Poole has a contract out on you.
I think it's true.
Well, I certainly wouldn't underestimate Mr. Poole, sir.
I better get going.
You know, it was just about a year ago that Inspector Arnaud was here, wasn't it?
International Police Conference.
Well, give him my regards, would you?
Shall I also convey that sneaky little look?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about the inspector getting married. Didn't he say last year that he was going to stay a bachelor no matter what?
Sure, he said it. I think he believed it.
I think I'll walk with you.
Hey, Sergeant, you got a minute?
See you later, sir. Sir, those rumors are right on the button. Raymond Poole is not wasting any time.
Doesn't have to be. Poole could have been anybody else.
Oh, you mean someone's going to take a shot figuring that Poole will get the blame?
Could be. Either this guy's a lousy shot or he's deliberately trying to miss me.
Well, maybe Poole was only trying to scare you.
That's what his usual tactic is around a diamond time, isn't it?
But if he wants to do more than scare you, sir, the airport's going to be a very good place to try again.
If I go to the airport, Poole may try to kill me. But if I don't go to the airport, my wife definitely will. Where do you think you're going?
To the airport?
All right. But on one condition. Not a word to Sally.
Commissioner, I promise you, Mrs. Mcmillan won't even see me.
You're late.
Where are they? Works out.
Unless I missed them and they're wandering around somewhere, which is very possible. I don't remember Jacques all that well.
You'd have recognized Maggie.
Because she stops traffic when she gets off the plane.
You know how it is. Beautiful women always go for cops.
I think I like that.
There! Good to see you, Sally.
Mac, Sally, may I present my wife?
How do you do?
What? That word still sounds strange to my tongue.
Maggie, Sally.
Mag. You know, I think we have the beginnings of a vaudeville team.
But of course. Well, what do you really think of this strange mixture?
Terrific.
Vin ordinaire, le champagne.
Oh, no. Well, what the inspector very gallantly neglects to tell you is that I shamelessly pursued him, didn't want to have anything to do with me. And you know why? Because I'm the vin ordinaire in this marriage.
Oh, we have the same setup.
Oh?
We do?
Where's your luggage?
Ah, the porte à gate there. It is good to see you again.
And you, Jacques. Oh, tout va bien.
Too bad. But that's good. That's good. Except one thing. There remains the task of facing my new father-in-law.
Don't tell me he still doesn't know you're married.
Oh, he knows it all right. The question is, will he get over it?
Apparently, Monsieur Sinclair does not take kindly to a fait accompli.
Well, that's why he's not here. Yes, Justin R. Sinclair, renowned industrialist, confidant to presidents, diplomatic representative to nations large and small, is home pouting. But don't worry, I will have him purring like a kitten by sundown. And, oh, he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to give us a really super party on Saturday night, and you will please come. Yes? You're on. Good.
Ah, good. Hey, put there. But
Why is he following us?
Who?
Sergeant Enright. I spotted him before, sort of flitting around, hiding behind things. Why is he acting so funny?
He's just checking on something. I wouldn't pay any attention to it.
Oh, that's all it is. Thought maybe he had a problem or something.
Well, there's just one. Keeping out of sight.
Mildred, why now?
Woman's work is never done, Commish. Lift your foot. Now the other one.
At the same time?
Oh, please.
Mac, is Justin Sinclair as rich as everybody says he is?
Richer.
Thank you, Mildred.
Here, I'll fix that. Wonder how he and Jacques are getting along.
He called me yesterday. Apparently, Sinclair's come up with a couple of suggestions.
Like what?
For example, tonight's party will be an opportune time for Jacques and Maggie to announce their annulment.
What else?
Plus a trial separation of 5 years. Come on, we're late.
Don't leave on my account.
We won't. Mildred, enrich my store of knowledge. Why are you vacuuming at night?
I always do my work when the spirit moves me. All creative people are like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Have a nice night, Mildred.
Oh, it's gonna be sensational. I have 4 more rooms to create.
How was your day today?
Oh, the usual. You know, I met Sinclair a couple of times. Seems like a stubborn old bird. I'll bet Maggie's got him wrapped around her little finger. You know, it's really odd, two people like that. Jack and Maggie pairing off. French cop, jet-set heiress.
Mac.
I've always heard that Maggie was rich and spoiled, but you know what? I think she was lost until she met Jack.
Mac.
On the other hand, Jacques probably was living in a vacuum.
Mac.
Huh?
I know.
Know what?
You don't have to throw the paper in the back seat. I know someone tried to kill you.
Oh, that.
Oh, that. How can you act so casual?
He was only trying to scare me.
You know, I wish you were in a safer line of business like tax law.
Raymond Poole is not entirely stupid. Anything that happens to me would end up in his head, and he knows it.
Now, how do you know that he is as logical as you are? He could end up in prison, and I could end up in basic black.
Sally, Raymond Poole is extremely logical. Take my word for it.
I ought to have my head examined. How did this thing turn into a celebration?
You're always so sweet.
Well, at least he's consistent.
Mm-hmm. So's a shark.
Oh, true.
Well, let's get back to the problem. Jacques, this business of yours,
Justin.
where does it go?
Justin, you promised to give Jacques the night off.
I never claimed to keep all my promises, particularly where a man's future is at stake. Now, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. 2 exalted cops on top of the heap, and between you, you don't make as much money as a tongue-tied insurance agent.
Oh, that is exquisitely subtle.
I think, sir, you're underestimating the graft.
But all I'm really trying to do is to point out that Jacques has a few responsibilities now. He cannot play Sherlock Holmes and be married to Maggie Sinclair at the same time.
So far, so good.
All right, I'll put it another way. I am 73 years old, and maybe I'll get to be 74, but the doctors aren't all that sure.
I really wish you wouldn't talk like that.
I am talking like that because there are times when these things need talking about. Eileen here has been running Sinclair International for the past 6 or 7 years and doing a damn fine job. Now, you and Eileen get along very well. You always have. Now, when I go, my share of the company is going to be put in your lap. That way, I'll know that Eileen is going to stay right where she is, keeping Sinclair on an even keel.
Daddy, do we have to talk about that now? Besides, what about Sharon?
Oh, your sister's well taken care of. You don't have to worry about her. Anyway, I've already told her about this. Now, and as for you, I hate to say it because I still don't approve of this marriage, but you have a pretty good head on your shoulders. Sinclair International can use you. At least that's what Eileen thinks.
Oh, very much so, John. No less than the ambassador, no matter how unappetizing he makes it sound.
Merci. You flatter me, Ambassador. But as you yourself have pointed out more than once, I'm a pretty old dog set in his ways. I like being a policeman.
Well, it's long been said that money is power. And power certainly is the way of this world. I think you'll change your mind.
I think we ought to toast to the new majority stockholder of Sinclair International.
And to the next tycoon.
No way.
Thought you weren't gonna let it bother you.
Well, it does bother me. Any way you put it, it's a slap in my face.
Sharon, it's your father's stock, and that makes it his decision. Look, you can't really blame him. He's not a well man. He's looking for continuity. Maggie and Eileen are close. And with Eileen running Sinclair International, he's got that continuity.
Well, I'd get rid of her in 2 seconds flat. She was nothing when my mother died. It was merely a girl's Friday. Now, Maggie may have been young enough to be fooled by that ingratiating substitute mother act of hers, but not me. She never fooled me. And she's got the bottom line, that Miss Eileen Cole. She's got complete control of Sinclair International.
Don't you think that's a pretty insupportable statement? Eileen's had 25 years to work on the ambassador, but he's still leaving his stock to Maggie.
Well, of course, darling, obviously. He and Maggie have just always had that very special rapport. And what do you think is going to happen when my father does die? Eileen Cole is going to play her just like a violin.
You really do have a flair for the dramatic, Sharon. You see plots and intrigues everywhere. Anyway, what difference does it really make? After all, I'm legal counsel to Sinclair International.
Only one of 50 of them, darling.
And you've got enough money for 2 lifetimes. Why don't you sit back and enjoy the one you've got?
Confessions of a boneless man? Oh, you don't know what it's like to fight for anything.
Oh, yes, I do. I am fighting to keep you.
Well, you're losing.
Have you tasted these spinach puffs?
No.
Oh, they're so good. These only little creamy things. I'm gonna gain 20 pounds.
Why don't I get you a valise?
That reminds me, I had the most fantastic idea. Why don't we go visit them over Christmas?
Ooh.
Jacques and Maggie. Who else?
They live in Paris.
I know they live in Paris. That's the whole idea. Christmas in Paris. What an inspiration.
And it just came.
Well, we would have a free place to stay.
In other words, having extracted an invitation from Maggie, you have launched your campaign.
You might say that.
Mrs. Mcmillan, would you do me the honor?
I'd be delighted. Guard this with your life.
Oh, look at that.
Commissioner, you know him pretty well, don't you?
Yes, sir, and if you really want to know, he is corrupt. Virtually an alcoholic, has a sadistic streak a mile long, and he cheats on all of his mistresses.
That's not what I'm interested in.
I know what you're interested in. You want me to talk to him?
Exactly.
It won't do you any good.
You're sure?
I'm sure.
Probably make a lousy businessman anyway.
The worst.
I suppose he is a pretty good cop.
The best.
Do you have the time?
Well, did you launch the campaign?
I was fantastically subtle. Of course, he picked up anyway.
Don't worry about it. I'll work on him. Christmas in Paris, that is a promise.
With my plate.
I don't know.
You don't know. I'm gonna have to start another one. Will you guys excuse me?
Oh. To you and Maggie.
To the four of us. You know, Mac, Sally's a fine girl. She has a very special joie de vivre.
We've both done pretty well since the last time we saw each other.
Those were good times.
Good times.
You know something? I have a confession to make. This marriage business. I really don't know how good I'm going to be at it.
You'll be
No.
terrific. I am.
Yeah, but we are different. I've lived alone for so long. I've enjoyed being a hermit.
Yeah.
His Majesty beckons.
Run.
Yes, of course. Commissioner Mcmillan?
Yes?
Mrs. Arnold would like you to join her on the terrace.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad I caught you, Mac. Now listen, I'm going to be very direct and very obstinate.
Something about Christmas in Paris?
Aha, exactly. Now look, I've only known Sally for a very brief time, but we're very much alike and we both get what we want. So, what's the point in putting up a fuss?
Well, it sounds great, Maggie. We'd love to go, but I don't think I can project my schedule this far in advance.
You just promise me to plan on it and the rest will take care of itself. Promise?
I promise.
Ah, true.
Somebody get a doctor. I'm a doctor. Marion, my bag's in the car.
What happened?
Maggie?
Maggie.
Who's in charge here?
I am, sir.
There was another waiter here. He's blonde, average build. Where is he?
I don't know. I don't have anyone who looks like that, sir.
Mac. She's gone.
It ought to turn up something. There are copies posted all over town.
I want him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to work on this case, Mike.
Jacques, do you think you should get involved in this?
I will do whatever is required of me.
I hope so.
Well, what have you learned about him?
Nothing. Posing as a waiter, that's all.
There's no question about it. That business of drawing you out onto the terrace was deliberate.
I didn't get it at the time, but Maggie wasn't expecting me out there. She said, "I'm glad I caught you, Mac." She wouldn't have said that if she was expecting me.
It's quite an operation. One man guides you into the target area, and the other man is waiting. Chances are they got away together.
It's my fault.
It's not true.
I didn't take Raymond Poole seriously enough.
Mac, you know as well as I do that in this business, one doesn't jump into bed and hide beneath the covers each time one's life is threatened. It's not your fault. I must be going now.
Sally will be along in a minute. Why don't you have dinner with us?
No, I'm having dinner with St. Clair. It's a difficult time for him, too.
Jacques, it's none of my business, but we all carry our grief differently, but are you all right?
Mac, my good friend, my wife has been murdered. And for me, this is the single greatest tragedy of my life. But Maggie would not want me to wallow in it. She would want me to go on and to catch her killer. And this I will do with your help. We owe that to her. And as for me, well, we will take each day, yes?
I'll get him, Jacques. I'll get Raymond Poole, I promise you.
That won't be so easy from what I've heard.
No, it won't. He's got an airtight alibi.
You know, sometimes one is tempted to apply a bit of pressure.
Except one abides by the rules.
Well, of course.
And I know back in Paris you're used to doing things your own way.
But here I'm out of my jurisdiction, right?
Don't misunderstand. I want your help very much.
I understand perfectly. When I am a guest, I always abide by the rules of my host.
That's all I ask.
You know, Mac, I can understand why you're worried about Jacques.
I'm not worried. I'm just concerned.
Well, I don't know why you let him work on the case anyway.
Because he wants to.
I know, but it was his wife that was killed. Aren't you afraid he's gonna blow his cool?
I'm more concerned how he reacts when this investigation is over, when he'll have nothing to concentrate on.
Mrs. Mcmillan, are we gonna move?
After I just spent all that money for the new drapes?
The game, it's your move.
Ah, I thought it was your move. Let's see. Mildred. Check.
I'll get it.
I frankly don't know how he has the nerve to walk the streets anyway.
Who?
Raymond Poole. He's a killer.
Not till we prove it.
Hi, Jacques.
Ah, Sammy.
Hi, Sergeant. Come on in.
Can I get you boys something to eat?
Un café, s'il vous plaît.
Ah, moi aussi, s'il vous plaît.
How you feeling, Jacques?
I said what?
How you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you.
I wish you would stay with us for a while.
No, I would only be in the way.
You would not be in the way, would he, Mag?
Well, he's a big boy. How's everything?
I'm exhausted, sir. Incidentally, Raymond Poole has been an absolute Boy Scout since we're onto him.
Mike, do you know a man named Morrison? Jake Morrison.
Jake Morrison. Hey, wasn't he associated with Poole years ago?
Yeah, they were partners.
Correct. There was a power struggle and Morrison lost.
Put it mildly.
Whatever happened to Jake Morrison?
Ask Jacques. He seems to be the current authority.
Whatever happened to Jake Morrison?
Well, thanks to your files, it seems Mr. Morrison has dropped out of sight. But perhaps if we can locate him, he just might relish the opportunity to settle an old score.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, let's find out where he is and talk to him first thing in the morning.
Bon.
Je comprends, Commissioner.
Charlie, you forever surprise me.
Merci. Actually, the good inspector here has been helping me to brush up on my French.
Sergeant, we can continue your lessons on the way back to headquarters.
Headquarters?
You must help me to locate the current address on Morrison.
Now?
But of course, if we are to get to Morrison in the morning, we must find out where he is tonight. N'est-ce pas?
Oui. Au revoir, Commissioner. Madame, back to the pits.
See you in the morning, Mac. Bonsoir, Sally.
Where's your coffee?
There is no time, Mildred.
No time.
Well, Miss Mcmillan, have some coffee. Oh, short people never get a break.
Sid. Hello?
Mcmillan, it's been over a week and I haven't seen any results. What kind of incompetent show are you running? Do you want me to put some private detectives on the case?
I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. Ambassador. We're looking for a killer, a very clever one. Takes time.
Well, there ought to be some results by now.
There will be.
I'll make it happen soon, Commissioner, because the next telephone call I make will be to the governor.
Not too friendly, I gather.
We're up to the ambassador. Would be in Siberia by now.
All right.
Play.
What is it again you said you could do with the horse?
Mildred, that is your knight. Now, he can move any combination of 1, 2, or 2, 1 spaces.
I thought that's what you said you do with the little soldiers here.
Pawn.
That is a pawn. Now, he can advance 1 or he can advance 2 the first time you move him.
Except to take an opponent.
Except to take an opponent.
Then you move diagonally.
Oh, yeah, then you move diagonally.
I seem to hear an echo.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to move this little fella right here.
You can't do that, Mildred.
What did I do?
Why? You can't move him sideways. I just told you.
Commissioner.
What are you asking him? You don't believe?
I'm going to bed. Good night.
How about a little two-handed poker?
Oh, well, now you're talking.
I'm going to bed.
There it is, sir.
Where's Jacques?
He said he tried to meet us here.
You're sure this is the address?
Yes, sir. I wrote it down. 1210 Grove Street.
Jake Morrison?
Well, if it is Jake Morrison, sir, it's quite a come-down for a big-time racketeer.
Or maybe it's a new and beautiful Jake Morrison, huh?
Hi, may I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, I'd like to see Mr. Morrison.
Oh, hold on a minute. I'll see if he's in his office.
Mcmillan, what the hell does he want?
It ain't gonna be a rubdown.
Get out of here.
He doesn't seem to be in.
Why don't you try again?
Yes, sir.
Why don't he take off?
I'm not here, Mcmillan. Beat it.
They're coming in. Clear it!
Come on over here.
Where's Morrison?
Can I help you, fellas?
Where's Morrison?
Jake, he must have left here about a half an hour ago.
About a half a minute
Hey,
ago.
where you going? Morrison ain't here!
I'm afraid that this gentleman and I collided. You are right, monsieur.
What is this?
Pardon, I'm sorry.
Can a guy jog around the block anymore?
You do have a sense of the dramatic, don't you, Jacques?
Oh. I don't know what's going on, but you got a case of false arrest on your hands, Commissioner.
You notice everybody's concerned with false arrest these days, Sergeant? I just want to talk to you. Why don't we go back to your office?
Who is this Frenchy guy, anyway?
Foreign exchange program.
Hitman? What are you talking about, Hitman? What would I know?
Because you're smart, Jake. You keep your eyes open.
Hey, look, I've been out of the big time 7, 8 years now. If Ray Poole wants to slug it out with the cops, let him make the papers. Me, I'm flying straight these days. I don't know from nothing.
What do you suppose this is, Charlie?
Well, sir, if I didn't know that Mr. Morrison was flying straight these days, I'd say it was a betting ticket.
Come on. That's a plant, and you guys planted it.
Did you plant it, Charlie?
No, sir.
Jacques?
Are the numbers in French?
No.
It is not mine.
Must be yours, Jake.
All I know is you hear things on the street.
No one's holding you to anything.
The word is that Poole brought in this guy from out of town. I think his name is Sable.
What else?
That's it.
Jake, Ray Poole took you over the ropes a couple of years ago. How would you like a chance to get even?
Look, I'm not saying I don't hate his guts. But Poole did me a favor, you know. My blood pressure's down 50 points from the old days.
Well, the thing is, Jake, I really need you.
Why me? I don't want to get involved. There's guys out there with meat hooks, you know.
Perhaps Monsieur Morrison would care to explain the betting slip at headquarters, Mike?
Oh, we don't want to pressure him, Jacques.
Well,
all I'm asking is that he keep his ears open, get me a light on Sable.
All right, I'll keep in touch.
You bet.
Here we go, sir.
Yes? Send him in. We finally got something on Sable out of Chicago. Full name, Thomas N.M.I. Sable, born in Cleveland, age 30. Record you wouldn't believe, been in out of everything with a wall around it.
May I?
Yeah. Quite a versatile killer. Knives, guns, explosives, even hit and run.
Animal. Is there a photograph?
Chicago's trying to dig one up, sir. It should be here no later than tomorrow.
Yeah, well, there's nothing more we can do. You coming to dinner, aren't you?
No.
Huh?
I'm going to do better than that.
Ha 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 ha. Sally finally got to
She's a very persuasive woman.
Yeah, you just don't want to miss anything.
Well, something like that, yes.
You can't come. Mildred.
I'm coming. Something like this takes time.
Well, what's so complicated about ice cream?
Oh, she's making something special. Where's your patience?
Oh, yeah, something special. The last time I had something special she made, I was on bicarbonate for 2 weeks.
I heard that.
Okay, 1 week.
Well, I don't know whether to serve this or have it bronzed.
Wow.
Incroyable.
What is this goo?
You know, Commissioner, I hate to say this, but sometimes you have the sophistication of a paw kettle.
Mildred, pay no attention to the commissioner. It looks superb.
Well, we'll give it the famous taste test. Oh, Mildred, you have done it again. No wonder half the crowned heads of Europe worship at your feet.
As I do at yours, talented lady.
Now, you see, him I like.
Whatever happened to good old ice cream?
Mildred's being creative.
Then let her vacuum something.
This is English trifle, and it's delicious.
I know what trifle is. I just didn't recognize it.
Paw kettle, I told you. How about a little more for those who appreciate three-star cuisine?
Superb, mais absolument superb. Mademoiselle, may I kiss your hand?
Oh, dear.
There are rewards in this job. Bon appetit, Inspector.
Merci.
And bon appetit to almost everyone else.
She's fantastic.
She is for sale. Excuse me. Hello?
Commissioner Mcmillan?
Yes?
I wonder if you remember me, Alan Joyce?
Yes, of course.
Good. My wife and I would like to talk to you. We think, well, that is, Sharon in particular thinks it could be very important.
How about tomorrow morning in my office, say around 10:30?
That'll be fine. Thank you, Commissioner. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Who was that, Mac?
Nobody. Departmental meeting.
Huh.
Well, I think I'll try some of this goo. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Too late. I see you have capitulated.
I have not capitulated. I have, however, in a moment of weakness, decided to try it.
Ah, well, very well. Tell me what you think, and don't spare my feelings.
I think I'll have some eggs. Where are the eggs?
Move over, Commissioner. I'll do it. How do you like your eggs?
Mildred, I have been known to cook an egg or two in my time. In fact, on those frequent days when you have off, I have perfected a 3-star fried egg and a toasted muffin, which is, in a word, superb.
Would you deign to let me toast the muffin?
Won't you?
Sweet. Ah, last one.
One does not slice the English muffin. One separates it in two, thusly.
Does one? How nice. Except these won't fit in our toaster.
One puts it in the oven. Are we out of eggs again?
Look in the 7-day meat keeper.
One hesitates to ask why eggs are kept in a 7-day meat keeper. Oh. Mildred.
Oh, now, let me guess. You are looking for the frying pan.
Check.
Under the sink.
Why on earth is everything in this kitchen secreted in cupboards and drawers 12 inches from the floor?
I'll tell you what. The next time you're out shopping for a housekeeper, get one that's 6'4", will you? And then everything will be nice and high, just the way you like it.
Is Inspector Arnault up yet?
Oh, up and out with crack of dawn. Want to know what he had for breakfast?
No.
Omelet a la Mildred. You know, he's quite a guy. And I don't say that because he thinks I'm talented, witty, intelligent, and attractive, and appealingly diminutive.
But it helps.
Oh, it don't hurt.
Mildred.
Oh, say, I am sorry about that.
I had my heart set on fried eggs and toasted muffins.
Yeah, well, why don't you just have the eggs with a side of trifle?
Blech.
You are a picky eater, aren't you? Listen, I think this must have fallen out of his luggage.
I'll give it back to him.
You don't suppose he left that behind for me to find, do you? Sort of a romantic symbol?
I doubt it.
Me too.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Joyce are here, sir.
Send them in. Morning.
Good morning. I think you remember Sharon?
Yes, nice to see you again.
Commissioner?
Nice to see you. Thank you. Please sit down.
Thank you. Frankly, Commissioner, Sharon's the one who prompted this visit. But I guess you know the Sinclairs are a stubborn bunch.
So I've heard.
Alan takes most things a bit less seriously than I do, Commissioner. But I think these are well worth you looking into.
They're extracts of stock purchases, Commissioner. Recently, I discovered that a rather large amount of Sinclair stock had been acquired by various holding companies. When Sharon learned about it, she became a little upset.
Very upset. Every one of those holding companies is owned by Raymond Poole.
Poole? Why would he be interested in Sinclair stock?
That's exactly the question. Why? Unless he's acquiring a voice in the company. A big voice.
Well, I thought control of the company was vested in the family.
Well, that's true, but it's a very divided family, Commissioner. Myself and Eileen Cole. My father really isn't a factor in this. Eileen administers his stock. But with his 20% and Eileen's 8%, Miss Eileen Cole has a great deal of power.
Are you trying to tell me that Miss Cole is quietly selling off her father's stock?
Of course. The same stock that Raymond Poole is buying up just as fast as it hits the market.
Well, I'm a little confused. I mean, what you're telling me is not a police matter. Why don't you talk to your father or Miss Cole?
Well, that's what I've been saying right along. I still think that Eileen Cole ought to be given a chance to state her case.
I am not interested in what Eileen Cole has to say. I'm sure you understand, Commissioner, that I am not fond of Eileen Cole, but that's not the point. I am convinced that she is no less responsible for Maggie's death than Raymond Poole.
That's a very strong accusation.
Not really. Not if Eileen Cole and Raymond Poole are conspiring to take over the company. Do you see my point, Commissioner? If I'm right, then the one situation that neither one of them can afford is that court case now pending against Poole. And you know why? Because in the course of the trial, Poole's stock purchases are bound to come out. And you know what's going to happen to Sinclair International when that hits the market? The whole bottom's going to drop right out.
In other words, what Sharon's suggesting is that Poole and Eileen Cole conspired to kill you in order to kill the case.
I'm sure of it.
It's nothing but a theory, Sharon. And it's a bit unseemly, isn't it? Hanging out the family wash on the heels of Maggie's death?
If my sister was killed because of a power-grabbing scheme of Eileen Cole, don't you think it ought to be hung out on the wash?
Well, I don't like it.
No, of course not. You don't like anything that disturbs your status quo.
I'm quite sure the commissioner isn't interested in our bickering, Sharon.
No. But I'm sure he's interested in justice. Commissioner, there is nothing that I can do with that information. If I go to my father, well, he'll just think I'm acting out of spite and listen to anything that Eileen Cole tells him. And if I go to her, well, she'll just give me a twisted story and then go and cry on my father's shoulder. Commissioner, I'm asking you for your help.
May I keep these?
Of course.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, indeed.
Let me see your license.
Oh, it's you, sir. What's going on?
Crazy driver.
Yes.
Ambassador?
Well,
I'd like to talk to you.
unless you can show some progress, there's nothing to talk about.
You shouldn't be up, Jason.
Perhaps I've come at the wrong time.
Nothing wrong with right now, nothing wrong with me.
Well, you're not going to prove anything by standing now. The doctor wants you off your feet.
What can he be expected to say? He's paid to make mountains out of molehills. Oh, don't worry about me. This is just one of those little scares that God likes to throw at 73-year-old men. What did you want to see me about, Commissioner?
Well, actually, I wanted to talk to you both. What do you know about Raymond Poole?
Well, I know he's the lowest form of reptile on this earth.
Are you aware that he's been buying up Sinclair stock?
Poole?
Well, there's no way of controlling the sale of common stock. Now, I'm sure you're aware of that, Commissioner.
Frankly, it's been suggested to me that he's been buying family-owned stock.
That's a lie! A lie! Do you hear me?
Anyone.
You're going to ever see this man in my house again? What?
Sorry, I didn't know you were so ill when I called.
He's been like that since Maggie. We don't know if it's going to get any better. Why don't we go into my office? It's just in the other wing.
Impressive.
It's an unlikely place to headquarter a company. But the ambassador likes to know it's close. Even though he rarely visits this part of the house. You were right about Raymond Poole. He has acquired a good deal of Sinclair stock. Family-owned stock.
That's straight enough. Mind telling me why?
Simplest of reasons. Company needs cash. In order to raise it, I floated a certain amount of privately held stock. But I think there's something that you ought to understand right now. That until this week, I had no idea that the purchasing company that bought the stock was owned by Poole. Let's get down to brass tacks, Commissioner. You wouldn't be here unless you suspected some sort of conspiracy between Poole and Sinclair International. More specifically, between Poole and me.
Well, no such conspiracy exists. If it did, I could easily have manipulated the sale of the ambassador stock rather than my own.
The money paid for the stock has been turned over as a personal loan from me. As for Raymond Poole, well, he seems to be investing pretty heavily in the market these days. He's simply happened to invest in Sinclair International. That's all there is to that.
I'll say one thing, Miss Cole. If you were planning on taking over the company, this would be a pretty poor way to go about it.
Commissioner?
There's nothing in this world that I would do to hurt Justin Sinclair. We've had a long and unique association. It's coming to an end. When he goes, I'm going to make Sharon Joyce very happy. I'm going to leave without a word. She did come to you, didn't she? It's funny. Sharon has always thought of me as some sort of a power-mad interloper. I never wanted all of this. Now, when the ambassador dies, it's all going to be Sharon's, and I won't miss it a bit.
You had this all ready for me, didn't you?
Well, it was ready for someone. When I discovered that Poole had been buying up our stock, I knew there was room for a misunderstanding, particularly from Sharon. Yes? Oh, just a minute. It's for you, Commissioner.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Jake Morrison just called in, sir. He's got something.
I'll be there in 30 minutes. Thank you, Miss Cole. You've been very helpful.
Well, I'll walk you to the door.
No, that's not necessary. I know how busy you are. I'll find my way out.
How are you feeling?
Never mind me. Has Mcmillan gone?
He just left. I think you're being a little hard on him, Justin. He's doing his job.
Accusing us of being in cahoots with Raymond Poole? You call that doing his job?
Oh, it's all been taken care of. He made an honest mistake.
If I thought a man like Poole owned 5 cents worth of Sinclair, I'd never get another night's sleep.
I don't want you to do anything. So just take care of yourself,
Oh, they haven't been all bad, have they? 15 years.
Granary?
That's Jake's new lifestyle, sir.
Any sign of Inspector Arnault?
No, sir, not since this morning. He mentioned something about renting a car. I think he went on out to the cemetery, sir.
Oh. Did you leave him a message?
Yeah, I left a note telling him we'd be here and to meet us here if we got back in time. Oh, and Commissioner, we really lucked out, sir. Chicago sent us a picture of Sable.
Aha. Good.
Commissioner? Here.
Ah, thank you.
Try the number 3 plate. Terrific. Natural. Everything natural. A healthy body and a healthy mind. You know what I mean?
You're a model of self-improvement, Jake.
It's all part of the spiritual thing. Everything clean, wholesome.
Too bad they didn't serve that back in reform school.
I got a little something for you, but there's no guarantees that go with it.
Yeah.
23 Castle Street. apartment 4J. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
We'll see you again, Jake.
Do me a favor, huh? Don't make it too quick.
Tail?
Let's find out. He's pretty good. All right, if he wants to catch us.
Maybe he lost us.
Either that or he's pretty smart. One way or another, we can't sit around here all day. Well, I'll be damned.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. We have this continuing problem of affecting a rendezvous, do we not?
What were you doing tailing us?
My dear Mac, I am trying to explain that I have not been tailing you. I received the sergeant's note. I drove to the restaurant. I arrived just when you were leaving. I followed your tortured and paranoid path, and now I am here to join you. Okay? Now, this Morrison, he has some news?
An address? It might be Sable's.
Then what are we waiting for? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
It's yours, isn't it?
I don't deny it, yes.
It's a magnesium-tipped bullet. It not only kills people, it tears people apart.
I know what it can do,
We
Mac,
can't use it
all
here.
right?
It's against the law. Now, I may feel the same way you do, but I'm trying to run a police department, not a private club for revenge. Do I make myself clear?
Sergeant? Could you check the clip for me, if you please?
They're not mag tips, sir. They're straight slugs.
Mac. This one is a souvenir. I've had it for years.
I'm sorry.
Ça ne fait rien. Well, let us go, huh? No, no. Your car. Mine costs 12 cents a mile.
The French? Charlie, cover the rear. We'll go in through the front.
You all right?
Yeah. We just heard from Mr. Sable.
What was it, Mac?
Hand grenade. Opening the door primed it. Not the most original booby trap ever made, but pretty effective.
Seems I owe you something, Mac. Thank you.
One thing's certain, Sable didn't set this up by himself.
Morrison?
Let's go pay him a visit.
Me? How do you figure me?
Because you're the guy that sent us there.
That's crazy. You think I'd set you up and still be sitting here? I'd be in Alaska by now.
Not if you didn't expect us to live.
Look, Mcmillan, you squeeze me and I go out and I hustle up information. And I told you right out there was no guarantee on it. How do you think I feel? I was taken too, you know.
By whom?
Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
I'm not interested in your pride. I want to know who it is.
I put the word out on the street. At first, nothing. And then this guy I know comes up with the address. And it cost me $100. A guy named Angie Green.
Where does he live?
On the other side of Golden Gate Park.
All right. You go first this time.
He floats around. Maybe he's not even there.
Let's take a chance.
A guy could get killed, you know. Thing I can't figure out is this guy's been solid. He comes to you with something and you go with it.
I know Angie Green. He served 2 times for burglary. He's a runner, a dealer, a pimp, you name it.
In other words, a quality citizen. Just the kind you can depend on. Excuse me, please. Angie Green?
Yeah, that's him.
Not very popular, was he? Who's she?
His girlfriend. She lives here.
You're the police? I called the police.
Yeah, what happened?
She came home from work a little while ago. Found him just the way you see him. She started screaming. I came in. Then I called the police.
Mac.
Yeah. We'll have the lab take it.
What's wrong?
The waiter at the party, who was missing, remember? He was tied in with Sable right from the beginning.
Right up to the end.
Yeah. Let's take a look around. Jack? Find anything?
Mcmillan, you find yourself another seeing-eye dog. This guy Sable's a maniac, and maybe he ain't too happy with me. You know what I mean?
He won't hurt you. You don't know enough.
Yeah? I don't see it in writing. So if you want to lock me up, that's okay. Otherwise, I'm getting out of this place for a while.
All right, you can go. Two links to Sable, and they both turned out to be Angie Green. Now he's dead.
Back where we started.
Yeah.
We have nothing.
Let's go back to the office.
No, you go ahead, Mac. I have the rental car to pick up, and perhaps I'll walk for a while.
He just said it. We got nothing. Well, I know something we can do. Get the word out on the streets. The police are planning a series of massive raids and arrests. The whole city is going to be turned upside down. It's going to stay that way until Sable is out of the way. Use every pipeline you can. That'll flush him out.
Yeah? Commissioner? put the word out on the street, sir. Within an hour, any punk willing to sell a rumor for $10 will be spreading the word that Sable is a very hot ticket.
Good.
Maybe we'll get lucky for a change.
Yeah, maybe. Anything from the lab on Angie Green?
Well, we don't have a detailed analysis yet, but the preliminary report isn't terrific either. Whoever killed Angie Green knew exactly what he was doing.
Like Sable, for instance?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's not Sable.
Why not?
Because it doesn't make any sense. Why would he kill Angie?
Sable killed Green because he knew that Green was going to nail him to save his own skin.
Mob will kill him if he did that.
Commissioner, Sable wasn't brought to San Francisco for a sightseeing tour. When I told you there was a contract out on you, I had that information from a very reliable source.
I don't doubt that.
Well, then you've got to believe that it was Raymond Poole who hired Sable and that this whole thing is Poole's game.
Are you trying to tell me this is a pool game?
Oh, sir. I'd never say a thing like that.
If it is, he's not the only player, and that's your cue.
Speaking of players, sir, have you heard from Jacques?
No, not since we left Angie Green's.
I hated to see him go off all depressed like that.
Oh, he's not depressed.
Well, he wasn't exactly doing a tap dance, sir.
When Jacques' depressed, he's all over the place, looking for clues, searching through files, anything that'll give him a lead.
Do you think he knows something and he isn't telling us?
Possible.
Well, I know he's our friend, sir, but I'm going to put a tail on him.
No. He's too good.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Wait around here until he makes a move?
You can wait around here.
Where are you going?
Home? I'll wait around there.
Pool game?
Thank you. Your Paris, France party is on the line.
Merci, operator. Alors, Gervais.
Inspector, is that you?
Listen to me, Gervais. This is very important. Do you know the jeweler Chantier and Company in La Place Vendôme?
Reputation, sir. My salary provides little reason to visit the establishment.
It is absolutely vital that you contact Monsieur Chantier himself. Have him check his records and find out who purchased the platinum lighter. Leaf Design. Numbers D as in Devilla, 27. 27. Do you have that?
Yes, sir. I'll check it out first thing in the morning.
Now, Gervais. It must be done now.
Sir, it's 2 a.m. in Paris. What can be done at this hour?
I don't know, but there's only one way to find out.
Hi.
Hi.
You're early. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm in for a long, moody evening. What happened?
We were close to something. Really close. Now I'm back to square one.
Well, shoot. Where's Jacques?
Well, he ought to be along in a minute.
You know, you were right. He is amazing. I can't believe the way he's taking everything so well.
I don't know. He's too quiet. He defers to my authority. He's always there. It's not like him. I'm afraid that he'll go off like a time bomb once all this is settled.
He's a pro. You told me that yourself.
The shock is beginning to wear off. He's getting, I don't know what it is, angry. I don't know. It scares me. I'm beat.
You want a drink?
Yes. Triple martini. What's for dinner?
Funny you should ask about dinner, Commissioner. It's only 5 o'clock.
I'll go get the drink.
What's so funny about that?
Well, last night I said, Mildred, lift these people on wings of your culinary genius. And what was the result? A 3-star trifle.
I know. Crowned heads of Europe and all that.
But tonight I didn't have the call.
You didn't have the call.
I didn't make dinner.
No dinner.
Well, of course there's dinner. It ought to be here any minute.
You're not going to say...
Fender's Fish and Chips.
She said it anyway. Fender's Fish and Chips. Cheers.
Hello? Yes, this is he.
Inspector, Absolutely no luck, sir. I finally got through to Madame Chantier. It seems Monsieur Chantier is out of town. Madame said he'd be back in the shop by morning.
But doesn't she know where he is?
Well, not really, sir. She is convinced that Monsieur Chantier is with his mistress, whom she does not know, but whom she intends to shoot at some future date.
Contact Monsieur Chantier the first thing when he arrives in the morning. When you have something, call me at 536-6674, Commissioner Mcmillan's home number. And don't worry about the time. Call me.
Inspector, is something seriously wrong?
Good night, Gervais.
Is it that bad?
It's not that good.
You should have stuck with a salad like me.
What'd you expect for $5?
For $5, even ptomaine would be chewable.
Okay, I'll get something to wash it down.
I'll get. Hello? Who is this? It's for you.
Who is it?
Mac and Sable.
Sable. Yes?
Ah, my name's Sable. You want to make a deal, Mcmillan?
When? Why not now? Right, Pier 31, got it.
What did he say?
Wants to meet me, make a deal.
Well, you're not thinking of doing it. Mac, it's crazy to think about that. Sable is the killer. It's just about dark outside. He's setting up a trap.
Oh, he knows I'm not stupid enough to walk into a trap. A man like Sable exists in the darkness, yet he telephones me for a meeting in the daylight. Why?
Because he's thinking that you'll be thinking the way you're thinking. That's why he's going to catch you off your guard.
No, the pressure's too strong. So much so he's willing to expose himself to make a deal.
You're not going to go there alone.
No, call Enright. Have him meet me at Pier 31.
Aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Your black mask and silver bullets.
Well, I thought I'd leave him at home since my horse is in the shop.
Come on, I'm serious, Mac. Why would you go alone when you've got the whole San Francisco police force to help you?
He'll come on too strong. We'll scare him off.
How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from the door? Father and mother, she had none. So where in the world did the money come from? Pray let me ask it, who filled her basket? The storybooks never tell. Bum, bum, bum. They say that she was the nicest of girls. Bum, 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 bum.
Come on, Sergeant.
Hello? Hello?
Jacques, I'm so glad you're back.
What happened?
Listen, Sable called. He wanted to make a deal. Mac went to meet him.
Tell me where.
You'll never find it alone. I'll take you there. I better try Sergeant Enright one more time before we go.
Hello? What? Yeah, I got it. I'll be right there, Mrs. McMillan.
There's Mac's car. He must be on the pier.
Sally, I want you to leave.
Oh, no. No way.
Please keep out of sight and lock the car.
Good luck, Jacques.
Thank you. Hey, Mac! Look out!
Get back in the car, Sally! Call an ambulance! Hey! Drop it!
Commissioner, Mrs. Mcmillan said that she and Inspector Arnaud were on their way here. Where are they, sir?
She's back at Pier 31. She's all right, but Sable here just shot the inspector.
Wait a minute, I didn't shoot anybody. You got it all wrong.
I saw it.
You didn't see anything. I'm telling you, I waited in my car outside the pier till maybe 5 minutes ago, just in case you had an army crawling around the place. Finally, I go onto the barge by that big crane. First thing I hear, somebody's blasting away. What do you expect me to do? I go back to my car. Next thing I know, you're on my back.
Commissioner, this gun hasn't been fired.
Sure. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't hit anybody back there. I'm telling you, I didn't hit Angie Green either. I didn't hit Sinclair's daughter. Somebody is running around this town with a hot gun. They're throwing it on my head.
I suppose you didn't know anything about a contract on me.
Oh, yeah, sure, I knew about that. Poole brought me in on it, but not as a hit. I was just supposed to make you a little nervous.
Okay, you did your job. You made me nervous. Now, why this setup?
Because the man wanted another push. And when the man wants another push, you do what the man wants. You know what I mean, Commissioner? You know what I mean.
Cuff him. Is he gonna make it?
We don't know yet.
for you, Commissioner.
Me?
Same woman.
Oh, it's Mildred. Why don't you take it?
Hi, Mildred. Wait a minute. Do you have a pencil and paper I could borrow? Sure. We don't know yet. We're still waiting to hear. Okay. Uh-huh. Slow down low. Lighter? Do you leave a number? Okay, I'll call you if anything happens, okay. That was Mildred. She just got a call from Paris. Somebody named Andre Gervais.
Well, Jacques' assistant. I've met him. How would he know Jacques was hurt?
Well, he didn't, not until Mildred told him. Now, the way Mildred explains it, Gervais was returning Jacques' call. Jacques had asked him to check on something, a lighter. He said it was very important.
A lighter?
A platinum lighter. Now, he described it to him. He told him to go to an exclusive jeweler's in Paris and check it out. He did. Now he's got the information, but he doesn't know what to do with it because Jacques can't talk to him. He thought maybe you might be able to help him.
I have no idea. Whatever it is, it has to do with Maggie's murder.
Well, I think Jacques has stumbled onto something.
Maybe it has to do with... Did Gervais leave a number?
Yeah, Elise 9333.
Nurse, may I make a phone call, please?
Yes, of course.
Operator, yes, I'd like to make a call to Paris, please. Elise 9333. Person to Mr. Andre Gervais. Yes, this is a police emergency. This is Commissioner Mcmillan calling. I'd like the call charged to my office, extension 4321. Hang on to this a minute. Nurse, may I see Inspector Arnaud's personal effects, please?
Attorney, use a gun.
Andre! Mcmillan! Fine, thank you. How are you? Platinum lighter. Leaf design.
Yes, that's the lighter. Apparently, the inspector found it in someone's apartment. The apartment of someone who was killed.
MG Green. Nothing. Go on.
I visited the jewelry shop this morning. It seems the lighter was one of 2 items purchased that day by Madame Arnaud. The other was a necklace, also engraved with a leaf design.
Who did you say that was?
Madame Arnaud. Of course, this was some time before she and the inspector were married, so perhaps I should have said Mademoiselle Sinclair. In any event, the necklace was purchased for herself. The lighter was sent out as a gift.
A gift? Do you know to whom? Oh, you're sure? You're not mistaken. Well, all right, thank you. What? Yes, I'll let you know. Yes, thank you, Andre. Goodbye.
He's not mistaken about whose name.
Doctor.
Oh, Commissioner, we got the bullet out. It's gonna be close. We won't know anything for a few hours.
Oh, now he's toughening you.
Oh, Commissioner. How's the inspector doing?
Well, the bullet's out. That's about all. We have to go someplace. Charlie, can you stay here for a while?
I'll be fine.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I got the egg salad that you wanted. They only had tuna fish on egg
Charlie.
bread. There's a submarine in there for me.
Enright.
I couldn't get any pickles.
Make sure no one touches the submarine, Sergeant.
Where are we going?
Ambassador, sorry to bother you again.
Let me do the apologizing, Commissioner. I've been pretty crusty. We heard about Jacques. How is he?
He's out of the operating room. We'll have to keep our fingers crossed.
When does it stop? Are we destroying whole families these days?
Ambassador, we're starting to get some of the answers, but a lot of what we don't know revolves around this lighter. Some time ago, Maggie bought this lighter in Paris. Do you recognize it?
Of course. She sent it to me for my birthday. Must have been 2 or 3 years ago. What is it? I don't understand.
Maggie's murderer had an accomplice. The accomplice ended up with that lighter. How did he get it?
I didn't keep it. The doctor ordered me to stop smoking, so I gave it away.
Come on in, it's not locked.
All right, come in here. Why did you do it? What could you possibly hope to gain?
It wasn't what I had to gain. It's what I stood to lose. My wife was going to leave me. She said I was a loser. I wanted to prove to her she was wrong. You see, with Maggie gone, my wife would have inherited everything. And then, you see, I would have told her I'd kill Maggie to show her I wasn't weak and that I'd done it for her. You do see, don't you, Commissioner? I only did it for my wife.
She was right. You are a loser.
Do you know what time it is, Mac?
Time for the rooster to crow.
I'm still wide awake.
Yeah, so am I.
You know, there's one thing I still don't understand. You know the waiter that was killed? Arnie Green? Angie Green. How did he get the lighter?
Well, to begin with, he was a compulsive thief. Joyce thought he'd lost it. Green grabbed it when they had one of their meetings.
Alan Joyce. I still can't believe it. He's so mild and inoffensive.
Yeah, sometimes those are the people you have to worry about. Killing Maggie gave him a new lease on life.
Boy, when he set that booby trap, he must have been in seventh heaven.
A very sick seventh heaven.
How did he know you were meeting Sable? You know, if Jacques hadn't have shown up when he did, you would have been Alan Joyce's third victim. And Sable would have been blamed again.
I think it was merely a lot of pressure building up. Thought it was time to get rid of me.
What's gonna happen to Poole?
For one thing, he's got an indictment in the works, plus a new star witness to testify. Sable. Yes. Yes, the hospital. We'll be right there.
Hello, Jacques.
Oh, salut. Mac. Tu vas bien, Mac?
Tu vas très bien.
Me too. We did it. We finally worked together. You know, Mac, I was thinking, the night of the party, remember when I told you I had doubts about marriage? You were right. Would have worked out fine.
That's it, Commissioner. I shouldn't have let you in on that.
Listen, Mildred sends her love, and she says you better hurry up and get better because she's working on a 5-star menu.
Oh, good. She can make up for Fender's fish and chips.
Well, you're not invited. Well, it's still early. You want to go home and cuddle?
Or we can go down to the wharf, have a nice, huge breakfast. Here. Call her.
Tails.